Welcome back. Hillary Clinton and the Democratic National Committee are being fined by the Federal Election Commission for a combined $113,000 for not disclosing the money Hillary's 2016 campaign spent on the Steele dossier.
Former President Trump reacted to the news last night, slamming what he calls the hoax against him and his presidency, saying this corruption is only beginning to be revealed, is un-American, and must never be allowed to happen again. Where do I go to get my reputation back?
Here with more, Judicial Watch President Tom Fitton. Tom, to you, I would say only just now being revealed to large portions of the public, but these are things that you and Judicial Watch have been aware of for a long time.
Yes, you know, this is a settlement. If you're the Clinton gang, you're going to say, well, we settled this. This doesn't mean we're admitting to anything. But given the grave nature of the issues underlying this charge, they didn't settle it lightly. And it further adds fuel to the fire that there was criminal misconduct targeting Trump. Here you had lies related to the spending of money, and it was designed to disguise the origins of the dossier. It's clear. And the question is Durham going to follow up on this? You know, we've known the dossier is a lie. We know they were pushing it out around election time and shortly thereafter. But we didn't know until a little bit later that it was tied directly to Clinton. And they tried to disguise that. You know, and there's gamesmanship sometimes in politics here. But the regulations here require disclosure, and it wasn't followed. You know, you're supposed to tell people what you're spending money on when you're filing these forms, and they lied about what they were spending the money on. It's pretty clear based on just a review of the records.
Tom, hitting on the big tech censorship, that's also something that was just announced today. The House Judiciary Committee, that they are going to be investigating both Facebook and Twitter in light of what they did or did not do when it comes to both the Clinton campaign, but specifically Hunter Biden's laptop. Just another example of big media covering up things.
Yeah, you know, my view on that whole issue is it's fraud. You know, they say they're suppressing the information for reason A, either it was hacked material or some other fake reason, when in fact they're doing it for political reasons to interfere with the elections. And so when you're lying about why you're censoring people, to your users, to Congress, to shareholders, and to the public generally, you're engaged in fraud. So Congress should be investigating that. State AG should be investigating it. The FEC should be investigating it. The SEC, Securities Exchange Commission, should be investigating. And of course, the FTC and Justice Department as well, the Federal Trade Commission for consumer fraud. They're lying about the censorship. Section 230 provides no protection from fraud and being held accountable
and it
for
seems
telling people
like
you're not censoring conservatives for political reasons, when in fact that's what you really are doing.
It seems like they're still doing it, because in light of this announcement yesterday about Hillary Clinton and the DNC committee being fined by the FTC, I had tried to tweet out an interview that I'd had about this topic back in 2019 and the Steele dossier. And you can tell when your tweets get shadow banned because you don't get as much, you know, engagement. So they're still doing that about this topic.
There's suppression going all around. I had been knocked off of TikTok for no reason. I could supposedly I violated the rules. They didn't tell me what I had done. And you have to be careful on Twitter on this transgender issue that this governor was just talking about. If you talk about the transgender extremist agenda in the wrong way, Twitter will shut you down. They've taken a political position on that controversial topic, and they're banning any discussion or dissent. YouTube, if you make allegations related to election fraud in direct ways, you will be deleted. You will have your videos deleted. And it's I call it, guys, the Great Suppression. It's been going on for several years, and it's targeting not only Donald Trump, but millions of Americans who are being victimized and have to censor themselves in order just to share their views on public policy online.
We had somebody on our team here make a comment about Rachel Levine that apparently offended the Twitter people, and she was that was deleted by them, and she was, I think, for 10 days wasn't allowed to use Twitter. But I love the title of your next book, The Great Suppression.
The Great Suppression. That's a good title.
Yeah, very good. Tom Fitton, thank you.
Well, thank you, guys.